verse 9, the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And I know Michael can expound more on things he has found on 5 and 2 symbology in the scriptures. But one that I found interesting also was there's 7 species that are talked about in agricultural products when we're talking about the Sukkot, the 7 species and so forth. And there's 2 grains and there's 5 fruits. So I just thought that was something I just wanted to point out with the 2 and the 5 resembling with the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. And I got more, but I'll just start with that and then I'll hand it off to Michael next.
So that's the definition of stealing my thunder. So I was definitely going to hit on that.
Well, yeah, that topic I'm sure, but I didn't know if you were going to hit on the grain and the fruit.
Sure. Yeah, I was. But so a few things. So the feeding of the 5,000, that's the only miracle recorded in all 4 Gospels. So I would say that's pretty important. So I do have some. So let's see, number 7, where it says, Philip answered, 200 coins of bread will not be enough for this people, even if a little is given to every one. So let's do some math here. Since a denarius was a day's pay, 200 is approximately 8 months' wages. I was researching. So I thought that was interesting that it took 8 months' wages to feed these people in that time. And so I might as well get to my 2 5s. That's my longest one on this part, and then we'll get everybody else's comments. But so I'm big on numbers. I'm a numbers guy. I don't know what this means, and maybe you guys can help me, and hopefully I do it justice. But there's codes within the Bible with the 2 5. So let me read it again. Here's a young man who has 5 loaves of barley bread and 2 fishes. But what will that be among all of them? All right, guys. So there's 7 churches in Revelation. 2 of them had nothing wrong with them. That's Philadelphia and Smyrna. 5 had a bunch wrong with them. So there's your first 2 5. We go to Lot. There were 2 angels and 5 cities. I don't know what that means. Again, there's a 2 5 connection there. 2 fish, 5 loaves, 2 churches, 5 churches, 2 angels, 5 cities. We go. I've researched the Galilean wedding model. At a wedding, you would have 2 witnesses on the groom's side, and you would have 5 bridesmaids or 5 wise virgins on the woman's side. Again, the 2 5. Rob stole my thunder with the 7 species. Like he said, there's 2 grains and 5 fruits, and I have 2 more on that. Luke 12:6. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 pennies? And not one of them is forgotten before Yah. Again, a 5-2, a 2-5. And finally, Genesis 45:6. For the famine has covered the land these 2 years, and there will be 5 more years without plowing or harvesting. So I thought that was a pretty cool little thing. I don't know what it means. Maybe you guys can help me with that, but there's definitely a code between a 2 5. I have one more thing, but I'll give it off to Nolan and see what he thinks about all this stuff.
Well, I had never made that connection before between the 2 5. So it sounds like if there's if there's 5 churches that are criticized and 2 that are not, one of them was, of course, Philadelphia. I take it that we want to be the 2 fishes then, right, and not the 5 loaves of bread. I don't know.
I think so.
I'd never picked up on that before. So that's really good. This is why I have you guys in my corner, because this is amazing. So